Dick Cheney has commented on the British departure, the British
withdrawal,
evasion. But he says, Vice President Dick Cheney said the move was actually good news and a sign of progress in Iraq. This is a quote. Well, I look at it and see it as actually an affirmation that there are parts of Iraq where things are going pretty well. We don't need the British anymore. I'm putting this in. In fact, continued Cheney, I talked to a friend just the other day who had driven to Baghdad, down to Basra, 7 hours, found the situation dramatically improved from a year or so ago, sort of validated the British view that they had made progress in southern Iraq and that they can therefore reduce their force levels.
Is there anything that Dick Cheney wouldn't call progress in Iraq?
But it's unbelievable. You know, any time we want to pull out, you know, it's cutting and running. We have to put 21,000 more troops, but there has been progress in southern Iraq, so the British can leave. I mean, come on.
So withdrawal is
both
progress.
Sides of their goddamn mouths.
Withdrawal is progress, and escalation is progress. Bombings are progress because it shows that the terrorists are desperate. Not having bombings is progress because then you don't have the bombings. I mean, I feel like if the insurgents went in and killed every single member of the Iraqi government, Dick Cheney would come out and say, we're making great progress because this gives us a chance to elect yet another new government. It's another election. Progress. There's nothing he can't spank for progress. The guy is full-blown delusional, and unfortunately the president's listening to him. Let me give you one more thing about this. During the break, I was looking at that quote that Michael read again, and it was driving me crazy. He said, Tony Blair said just under a month ago, quote, to set an arbitrary timetable that we would pull British troops out in October, come what may, would send the most disastrous signal to the people we are fighting in Iraq. So now Tony Blair has done that very same thing. He's saying they will pull out most of their troops by October, so apparently he's decided that he's going to send that most disastrous signal to the people we're fighting in Iraq. But here's my point on it. There's only two possibilities here. If you think setting a timetable for withdrawal in Iraq or any conflict is disastrous, then you could either, A, stay there forever, because that means you can't, if you don't have a timetable for withdrawing, and you're not going to withdraw, that means you're not going to withdraw. You're going to stay there forever. Or one day you wake up and you go, surprise! We took all of our troops out and they're back in England already. I mean, how else do you ever withdraw from any conflict?
Yeah.
If you don't give a timetable for how you're going to get out of the conflict, I suppose either you never get out or one day you wake up and you're in Kansas. It's so preposterous. The fact that any of these talking points were giving credence in any country should boggle the mind.